Okay, reading from Ramananda Samvad. Madhya-lila chapter 8. It's Madhya-lila chapter 8, text 94. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yadyapi Krishna-saundarya mādhuryera dhurya vraja-devīra Sanga yadyapi Krishna-saundarya mādhuryera dhurya vraja-devīra saṅge bāḍaye mādhurya. Although Krishna's unparalleled beauty is the topmost sweetness of love of Godhead, his sweetness increases unlimitedly when he is in the company of the gopīs. Consequently, Krishna's exchange of love with the gopīs is the topmost perfection of love of Godhead. Om Caitanya-caritāmṛta Madhya-līlā Taksur unmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Caitanya-mano bhishtam stapitam yena bhutale sayam rupakadamayam dadati sapadantikam vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So greetings from Govardhan. It was quite an intense end of Kartik. We had 50 people from Raghunath that I was helping here and there. And 14 Iranians, which I played a part in helping them get here. So that was kind of very rewarding, but busy. And I even went into Vrindavan twice. I do a lot with a friend of mine who has, I think he called a Vedic practicum. It's huge and very, very systematic and organized. And they had 140 basically new people. They came from Rishikesh and Vrindavan, and I went there to speak to them. And then, amazing or not, 140 of them went to Sridhar, my friend, the gardener. He cooked for 140. It wasn't my idea, but Sridhar Baba agreed to it. And my friend also, I turned him on to him, called him. And they had 3 different stoves and cooking those rotis. And because it's my firm faith that everything's based on faith. Faith is our trust in a goal that will give us happiness based on some experience that enlightens us or fools us that experience matured is our goal in life. So I have that strong conviction that the experience in Vrindavan, when it's done under guidance, is really the strongest way, in one sense, to get that kind of faith. And I see that, especially the Iranian Vaishnavas who can't come here, who don't have that free access in their country to so openly practice. And now Satchidananda and Burijan Prabhu are having their Kirtan and Japa retreat. And amazing, I told you that retreat center, 25 acres, amazing. Amazing what they did, the facilities they have. The hall they have could fit 1,000 people with the best sound systems and this huge place to take prasadam. And just the purity in which that whole thing was done. So Govardhan's really happening place because there must be about 300 or 400, 500 people on the other side, Vaishnavas, and and then Russians, and then at the end of the month, the Queen of Kazakhstan, as a former, is coming, and just a lot going on. But I enjoy my peaceful life, more or less like today. Okay, I started with this. The Ramananda Samvad. I don't know how much further I'm going to go. We already covered this, that Ramananda Roy, Lord Chaitanya is asking Ramananda Roy to ascertain the verse that describes the highest goal, the essence, sarasadya, the essence of the sadhya, of the end. And what is the essence? Well, the soul, we've explained many times, is consciousness which reaches its perfection in devotion. And the more concentrated that devotion is, the more it represents that sarasadya, the essence of and we know that even bhava and prema, it described that bhava is like the sun rays. What is that sound? Bhava is like the sun rays, and prema is like the sun. So it's heat and light, but condensed. Even prema is described in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. The symptom of prema is Sandrandana Visheshatma. There's some crazy sound. I don't know if it's coming from me or where.
It sounds like it might be your WhatsApp if you have WhatsApp open, Maharaj.
Aha, Rati Krishna. discovers the open WhatsApp. Okay, thank you. So it's described Sandrandana Visheshatma. Sandra means like metal, you can't put anything through it. So as the consciousness becomes more concentrated in devotion, the more it represents our being, actually, because that's what we are. We're made of and for God. That's our kind of our essence. So Ramananda Samvad he's asking for, Lord Chaitanya is asking for that. And I think we've discussed it before, that there's different recommendations of devotion for different levels of consciousness, different levels of proclivity. And even though they're recommended, if you make an analytical study, there's kind of something that's external to devotion. Like Varnashram, that verse was given, Varnashrama Charavita, this is the best way to please Krishna. But when Lord Chaitanya heard that, he said, Ayabhaya, it's external, and give me something more, because what's external to the soul is selfishness. And Varnashram, it takes our selfishness and engages it to purify it from a highest level, but it can't be the sadyasar, can't be the essence of perfection. And neither can yadyapi, whatever you do, whatever you think, give to Krishna. Because why are you doing those things? It's connected with something that's external to God. And what's external to God, what's external to ourself, is the false ego. It goes antithetical to the self. The self is moving towards God. The self is moving away from the center to serve the center. The false ego is moving to the center to exploit everything else. So we can't artificially renounce that conception, because we may become more absorbed in it if we're attached to it. That's the beauty of Varnashram. You take a desire and you regulate it. So what happens when you regulate a desire, according to Shastra? When you regulate the desire, you satisfy the desire. But because you're regulating it, you're also performing detachment that purifies you of desire. But you can't say that's the sadyasar, the essence of the goal, because it's mixed again with something that's external. And even sannyas was, I heard a lecture today where Prabhupada said, what does sarvadharma pratyaja mean? It means you can make up any nonsense that's religion. Yatama tatapat, whatever you want, whatever you do. And Krishna says, give all that up. And the essence, give all that up, but the essence is sarvadharma pratyaja, mam ekam sharanam vaja, ekam. This focus, sharanam, go, vraja means go to, sharanam, your shelter. That's what surrender means, to take shelter. You go, sharanagati, to go to shelter. But Lord Chaitanya rejects it as external also. Of course he rejects it external because renunciation is still dealing with a consciousness of the world to renounce it. There must be some attachment if you have to renounce it. If you don't have an attachment, you don't have to renounce it. You don't think about it. Anyway, it's still that shut off completely, and there's still some noise coming on. Anyway. 1 second. Let me shut off some more stuff. Okay. Pardon me. Others tolerate. So he finally gets going through the different verses to, even Jnana Mishra Bhakti. Jnana Mishra Bhakti means you so much want to focus on Krishna that you analyze the material world, saṅge, to renounce it. But that's still external. And when he gets to Jnane Piyasam, you give up. You just sit, you hear. And then it goes on to different stages where the intimacy and the force of love is, and I've mentioned many times, even Vaikuntha Prem, where you see God as you see God in majesty, because there's obligation, because there's fear when there's authority of doing wrong. There's also something that makes it not as forceful, and therefore it can't be. He said, "Ahoya, this is okay," but he wants, "Aho, could you give me something more?" Because I want not just the sadhya, I want the sar, the essence of the sadhya. I want something more. Today I see Divya Shakti's here, and she translated to me today the Russian Kirtan school. I gave a class on Zoom, and I'm very impressed with the things that Bhaktivedanta Goswami has done in Russia. The training programs and the outreach programs in terms of education and bringing people in. So they have a Kirtan school, and I spoke for an hour and a half. And Divya Shakti and her husband were close with Ayendra. And when they got their Gaurnitai deities, they asked me to install them with Ayendra. So we recalled the story where Ayendra Prabhu said, "You do the talking. I don't want to do the talking. I'll just do the kirtan." So he did the kirtan, and the deities are being obeyed. And then and this is related to what I'm talking about. And then I spoke. And I thought it's Gaurnitai, so I can give a commentary on Lochan Das Thakur's song, Parama Karuna, Pahu Duijana, Nitai Gora Chandra, Saba Avatar Sarashiramani Kevala Ananda Kanda. So I described Parama Karuna, most merciful, Pahu Duijana, 2 people, Nitai Gora Chandra, those are their names, Nitai Gora. Saba Avatar, of all the avatars, Sara Shiramani, again, the essence, Shiramani, the Shiramani, Shira jewel, Shira means the head jewel, Sara the essence of the head jewel, or the crest jewel. The crest jewel, an English idiom, the crest jewel of all avatars is Lord Chaitanya. And then why? Kevala Ananda Kanda. So I explained why. Because he gave a kanda, which was Ananda. Kanda means karma kanda is not Ananda. Because the karma kanda path, the goal is heavenly planets. The path is Vayam Natu Vitript Atma Uttama Shloka Vayam Natu. We never become satiated. Vayam Natu Vitripta Uttama Shloka Vartate, by the names of God. Yet Shrinvatam, we hear this Rasagana and this knowledge of love. Swadu, Swadu, but we can do this again and again, meaning they became satiated by karma kanda. Swaha. The path is not fun. Sacrifice is not fun. It is yagya. You give up money, you give up time. They were doing these yagyas in my courtyard by Prabhupada's grandson, Madhava Mishra, not Prabhupada's grandson, the grandson of Prabhupada's first disciple, Prabhakar Mishra. And if you wanted to be in that sacrifice, you had to go in, you can't go to the bathroom. So you start at 8 o'clock at night, it ends at 5 in the morning. And you sit there, swaha. And there's at least $5,000 of ingredients that are put in the fire. So much sacrifice of money. Oud wood, which is the most expensive wood. Kilos of Kashmiri saffron. But what they want is the result, the benefit. And Jnana Kanda, the path of Jnana is vairagya, it's torturous. But moksha is the goal. But bhakti, I explained, Ananda Kanda. It's a path that's only Ananda. Sasukam kartam avyam, it's joyfully performed. Because once you do it for a goal, it's not bhakti. You don't do bhakti for a goal. If there's something outside of bhakti or love as your objective, then it's no longer bhakti, or it's mishra bhakti. So then, as we're telling the story, then Ayendra said, no, it's not just Ananda Bhakti, it's Kevala Ananda Bhakti. And then he spoke for about an hour, but Kevala means only bhakti. And what's only bhakti? Which is the Sadyasar. What is only bhakti? It's spontaneous love. Because spontaneous love, when you worship in Braja Bhakti, you worship God as a cowherd boy. There's no obligation when you're not dealing with a superior. There's no fear of doing something wrong or rules when you're dealing with a superior, and there's no distance. So it's Kevala Bhakti. It's only Bhakti. So it's described there, therefore, Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma. Shri Guru gives what? Kevala Bhakti in our line. What's Kevala Bhakti? It's Braja Bhakti. It's only Bhakti. There's no obligation. It's forceful. And that's what Lord Chaitanya came to give. Because he said, it's wonderful. It's above our heads. Reverential devotion. We bow our heads to it. But when we make an analysis of what Lord Chaitanya came to give, he wanted, he says it's made a bit weak by reverence, the bhakti, but the Kevala bhakti with Krishna, it's called spontaneous. Raganuga bhakti, it's spontaneous. So there, when Lord Chaitanya, because they describe prema, he said, "Oh, this is uttama. This is good." And then they described the servant, and this is good. But when they got to a friendship, the friendship love, he said, this is uttama. This is the best. This is the best. Because there's nothing external to that love, no obligation. This is what Lord Chaitanya, and then they went to parental love. Yes, and this is even more. And then when he got to the love of the gopīs, which is right now, he said, yeah, this is the essence. Because this is the most forceful love. And in this verse, what it describes is that, and this is one of the reasons why Lord Chaitanya appeared, because he gets so much happiness from the gopīs that happiness makes one more beautiful. That's why we smile. It makes us more beautiful. But as Krishna becomes more beautiful, the gopīs become more beautiful because they become happy. And it's really described in relationship with Radha, but that's the concept. There's this unlimited increase of the happiness of Radha and the beauty of Radha, which increases the happiness of Krishna. But when you make a comparison, their love is so forceful because it is just focused exclusively on Krishna. But Krishna is loving everyone in all kinds of relationships, and even has a relationship with the Maya Shakti. So it says, although Krishna's unparalleled beauty of topmost sweetness his sweetness increases unlimitedly when he is in the company of the gopīs. Consequently, Krishna's exchange of love with the gopīs is the topmost perfection. So Krishna-saundarya, the beauty of Krishna, mādhuryera, and the sweetness of Krishna, dhurya, the topmost. But devīra saṅge, in the companies of the gopīs, tāṅra, his bāḍaye, mādhurya, his mādhurya, his sweetness, his beauty increases. And this is only halfway, and it goes on and on to such an extent, because now it's going to explain, no matter how beautiful and how forceful that love is, when Sri Radha leaves the rasa dance, then Krishna also goes. So we cannot even imagine. We cannot even imagine the force of our beauty. And it's a beautiful theological concept. It's a beautiful theological concept that God has a pleasure potency, the essence of which is love of Krishna prema. And when it's increased unlimitedly, it becomes Mahabhav. And that devotion, the Mahabhav Swarup, the form of that devotion is Radha. So we can't imagine if it's God's own pleasure potency, which is manifest in love, and there's pleasure, pleasure is love, love means to offer the best. So the best is the manifestation of pleasure and love. You give the best, and that's Radha. It's the best to God. And we have this concept of God, it's unlimited, so we can't even fathom it. And it's ever increasing eternally. And why not? Because you can't limit God. So this is this chair to ascertain what is these sadhyas are, what verses. I'll just read more. This is, and then we'll stop with this. I don't know how far we can go. Even Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, with his people, he'd let them read it through, but they really wouldn't discuss it so deeply. And therefore, you can understand how merciful Prabhupada is, that he gave it to us so we can study it. Prabhupada is very empowering, very empowering. And he really gave us everything. Because if you mature in devotion and come to the Caitanya-caritāmṛta, absolutely everything is there to awaken your relationship with Krishna and have you understand it in the proper way and make you feel it in the proper way. Absolutely. Although the son of Devaki, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the reservoir of all kinds of beauty, he is the Ati Sushubhe. Shubhe means beautiful. Shushubhe, very beautiful. Ati Shushubhe, unlimitedly very beautiful. Shubhe, beautiful. Shubhe, very beautiful. Ati, unlimited, although he is unlimitedly madhya, when he is among the gopis, when he is tatra there among madhya, when he is madhya, is in the midst of the gopis, he nonetheless becomes more beautiful, for he resembles a maraka jewel surrounded by gold and other jewels. So it must be like a ruby or a diamond or emerald, maybe an emerald. He becomes even more beautiful. So just giving us a sense that there is a supreme, unlimitedly increasing reality. That's what God means. And when we follow the process of devotional service and we get that vision, we can see the past time, we can see a little bit behind and see it's more than meets the eye. It's something transcendental, and even a drop of that. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, when it describes, I think it's Bhava, maybe Prema. No, what is it? I'm not sure, but anyway, it describes that if you take that the material happiness cannot compare to liberation. And if you multiply the happiness of liberation, moksha lagudakrit. liberation, laguda krit. Luga means small, lagu means small. Guru means big, heavy. Lagu means light. Krit means to make light. Moksha laguda krit. The symptom of Bhava Bhakti is moksha. And how light does it make it look? If you multiply, it describes the happiness of liberation by an unlimited number, by infinity. It doesn't equal a drop of the happiness of the Bhakti Rasa Mrita Sindhu. So then Lord Chaitanya, then Lord Chaitanya says, Prabhu kahe, A Sadhyavari Sunishchaya, you have ascertained this limit of perfection. Kripa karika, be merciful to me. Yadi agi kichu hoy, you please be merciful to me and do what? If there is something further, please speak. If there's more, this is the limit of perfection. But please be merciful and speak more if there is more. Verses Madhya-lila 8. Now we're up to that was 96. So Ramananda Roy says, Ihara age puche eta dina nahi jane ache bhuvane nahi jane, I do not know eta dina until this day ache, this world, within this world there is ihara agi, there's inquiry beyond this perfectional stage. I never saw that anybody can inquire beyond this, what we just described. And then he explains, Ihara madhye radhara prem sadhya shira mani yadhara mahima sarva shastreti. Among the loving affairs of the gopis, Ramananda Roy continued, Srimati Radharani's love for Sri Krishna is the topmost. Indeed, the glories of Srimati Radharani are highly esteemed in all the revealed scriptures. Sadhya Shiramani, again, Shira is the head, Mani is the jewel, the crest jewel, the topmost perfection. Ihara Madhye, among the gopis, Radhara Prem, the love of Godhead, of Srimati Radharani. And then a verse. Just as Srimati Radharani is most dear to Krishna, her bathing place Radhakund is also dear to him. Among all the gopis, Srimati Radharani is the supermost and very dear to Lord Krishna. Right down the road, I can get on a rickshaw right now and go to Radhakund. But you have to go with the most reverence, spiritual mood to perceive it, under order, under guidance, in a sense of being completely unqualified to do so. Because it's something beyond our eyes. Aniyar adito nunam, Bhagavan Harir Ishvara, Vidhaya Govinda, Pritu Yam Aniyarata. This is the verse in the Bhagavatam where Srimati Radharani's name is mentioned. Because Krishna left the rasa dance, and then the gopis went to look. And then they saw, and they were talking to the trees and going crazy out of this high emotion of separation from Krishna. Hey Radhe vraja-devīra chalalite, hey Nanda suno kuta, Goshanti Goshantabati sarvato vrajapare, Kedar viva Mahavivalo, great bewilderment. Hey Radhe, hey Radhe, hey Radhe, hey Radhe, hey Radhe, mad. And then they saw two footprints. So they saw there was someone else with Krishna. So that's when Radha's name is indirectly mentioned. Aniya radito nunam. By her, indeed, Krishna was more worshipped. Aradhita was worshipped by her. Dear friends, Yano Vidhaya Govinda, rejecting us, Pritayam Anyadraha, she was brought to a secluded place. So, how qualified is she? Prabhu kahi, age kahi, shunite pai shuke, apurvamrita nadi vahi tomara muke. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, please speak on. I'm very happy to hear you, because a river of unprecedented nectar is flowing from your mouth. During the rasa dance, Sri Krishna did not exchange loving affairs with Srimati Radharani because of the presence of the other gopis. Because of the dependence on the others, the intensity of love between Radha and Krishna was not manifest. Therefore, he stole her away. If Lord Krishna rejected the company of the other gopis for Srimati Radharani, we can understand that Lord Krishna has intense affection for her. Roy kahe, tabe shuna premera mahima, Sri Jagati Radha premera nohika upama. Ramananda Roy continued, please therefore hear from me about the glories of Srimati Radharani's loving affairs. They are beyond compare within these three worlds. Finding herself treated equally with all the other gopis, Radharani displayed her tricky behavior and left the circle of the rasa dance. Missing Srimati Radharani's presence, Krishna became very unhappy and began to lament and wandered throughout the forest to search her out. Kamsadir api samsara, vasana bhara shinkalam, radham adhaya hridaye, tatyaja vraja sundari. Lord Krishna, the enemy of Kamsa, took Srimati Radharani within his heart, for he desired to dance with her. Thus he left the arena of the rasa dance in the company of all the other beautiful damsels of Vraja. Being afflicted by the arrows of Cupid and unhappily regretting his mistreating Srimati Radharani, Madhava, Lord Krishna, began to search for her along the banks of the Jamuna River. When he failed to find her, he entered the bushes of Vrindavan and began to lament. Simply by considering these two verses, one can understand what nectar there is in such dealings. It is exactly like freeing a mine of nectar. Although Krishna was in the midst of hundreds of thousands of gopis during the rasa dance, he still kept himself in one of his transcendental forms by the side of Radharani. Although Krishna was in the midst of hundreds of thousands of gopis during the rasa dance, Lord Krishna is equal to everyone in his general dealings, but due to the conflicting ecstatic love of Srimati Radharani, there were opposing elements. The progress of loving affairs between a young boy and a young girl is like the movement of a snake. On account of this, two types of anger arise between a young boy and a young girl: anger with cause and anger without cause. Okay. Lord Krishna's desire in the Rasa-lila circle is perfectly complete, but Srimati Radharani is the binding desire link in that desire. 113. The Rasa dance does not shine in the heart of Krishna without Srimati Radharani. Therefore, he also gave up the circle of the Rasa dance and went to search for her. When Krishna went out to reach for Srimati Radharani, he wandered here and there. Not finding her, he became afflicted by the arrow of Cupid and began to lament. Since Krishna's lusty desires were not satisfied, even in the midst of hundreds of thousands of gopis, and he was searching after Srimati Radharani, we can easily imagine how transcendently qualified she is. After hearing this, Lord Chaitanya said to Ramananda Roy, Prabhu kahi ye lagi ailama tomashlani, say shaba tattva vastu hoila muri. After hearing this, Lord Chaitanya said to Ramananda Roy, that which I have come to your residence has now become an object of truth in my knowledge. Now I have come to understand the sublime goal of life and the process of achieving it. Nonetheless, I think there is something more ahead, and my mind is desiring to hear it, have it. So he asked more and more about Radharani. Actually, I wasn't expecting to do that, but somehow that's what Krishna wanted me to do today. Is Jamuna Jaya here, or did she have to go to?
Yeah, Raj, I was hoping you'd wrap up. I was just typing in the chat box. I was like, if I have to go, someone please tell Maharaj. I said, wow, that was, like they said, a river of nectar was flowing from this passage. I'm so moved by this. It's amazing. But it was just making me think, remembering the past times when they're chastising Lord Chaitanya for saying, gopi, 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 talking about Radharani. And it's like, yes, she makes him more beautiful. Yes, it's her, it's her, it's her. So I was just so relishing this. Thank you so much, Raj. This is wonderful.
It's nectar, nectar.
It's nectar.
Are you in Yoga Maya?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay, give my regards to Bryn. Okay.
I will, Maharaj. Thank you for class. Really beautiful. Nectar.
How is Yoga Maya doing?
Really well. In the yoga teacher training, they have almost 30 students, which is huge. And class sizes are really picking up. Like in my morning class, I have about 15 people online and 15 people in the room. So classes are coming along nicely.
You have 15 people online and 15 people in the class, huh?
Yeah. Because this class I'm about to teach, I have both. I have the camera set on, so there's some people on Zoom and some people actually in the classroom.
They have nice technology there to.
Yes, Bryn has done a beautiful job. It's really, I'm surprised at how well it works. People online feel like they're included. The people in the room don't feel like I'm neglecting them with the camera. It's really working very nicely, I have to say.
They've set it up in the studio itself, somehow, the technology.
Yes, yeah. There's a camera that can see me And then there's a computer. I can see the students that are online. And then I walk around and see the students that are in the classroom. So it's very well set up.
Wow. Yeah, Britain's
Yeah.
very organized together. It must be
She-
one of the nicest studios because it was new and constructed this way.
Yeah, it really is. It's beautiful. And yeah, the technology is.
You want to show it to us quickly?
So I'm in the small room,
Yeah.
but where I'm going to teach in a minute is here, getting a tour of the lobby. But where I'm about to teach is the big room. It's getting somebody to.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's as big as the old Yoga Maya.
Yeah, the second room is actually bigger than the big room at the old Yoga Maya. Yeah.
The
It's
only
beautiful,
thing
and
that's
she's done a
smaller
beautiful job.
is the lobby.
Say again, Maharaj?
The only thing smaller is the lobby.
Yes, yeah, when you come in, so this is, you come in through the elevator. And then you either go right to the big room or left to the small room. So,
She's well. Wow.
yeah. And I must go, Maharaj.
Okay, yeah, teach. Hey, anybody else say hello?
Hi, Krishna Maharaj. Yes, always a winner talking about Ramananda Sambad. Thank you.
Yeah, it's an interesting, I didn't think I was going to speak today, but I feel very surcharged because once everything kind of settled here, I can see the effect of sadhana in the morning, like really hours of chanting and pretty good concentration. And then this is my second class today. And yeah. And now I moved Jai Jagannath in. He's going to have the apartment next door on the top that belongs to me too. So we have a surcharge little section here. Okay, anybody else?
Maharaj, this is Divya Shakti again. I'm happy
Yeah.
today. Thank you. Actually, I'm also charged, from the very morning. I feel so happy today and I have so many things to do. I'm like household chores, but I'm, all the day I'm so happy and I feel your sadhana power, Maharaj. So I was really, yeah.
Great. Well, that was a great translation this morning. It was really worked and it was just fun. And I'm happy to see that you're live and you said now, if those Narottam bhajans, if you chant them,
Right.
and have bhajans that you have that mood and then chant Hare Krishna, you can add that mood to the kirtan.
That's a brilliant idea, actually. So today I got a lot of new life hacks, from you. So I will implement definitely something. Thank you.
It's great to have you as part of the group here. And hope to see you in Braj soon, if you can. Okay. Anybody else? Jai Shri Radhe. Hi, Bo.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for the class.
Where are you there? Are you in your bedroom?
Yeah, it's upstairs. Yeah.
I can tell by the colors. Okay. Okay. Anybody else?
Maharaj, this is Krishna-katha. Thank you so much. It was so beautiful and really great. Thank you.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I'll have to start the Russian Sanga up again soon. I'll speak because, yeah, there's a few other people that want to be on it. I'm doing a lot more outreach with the Russian community now. Everyone else seems so busy except for me. So, okay. Haribo.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, this is Hemala Tarada.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you so much for
Thank you, Maharaj. The class was wonderful.
we'll see you both soon in India. I heard though one thing, it's extremely hard to get accommodation in Mayapur somehow, because I think half of Russia moved to Mayapur because of the war. People don't want to be drafted. So, a lot of people moved out of that country. And of course, devotees moved to Mayapur. But anyway, Krishna will arrange everything nicely.
We were able to find a studio yesterday, Maharaj. So
You're able to what?
to find a studio in Mayapur. So we have a small apartment.
Really, where?
Next to it's closer to the
Jugala
temple
place.
than Jugalas.
In the middle.
Okay, great. You see,
Yeah.
it's all up to Krishna. It's not material. Okay,
Thank you, Maharaj.
okay, how you go? Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Tota Gopinath here.
And Kishore Radha.
I didn't hear the other voice, but anyway, nice to see both. Hey, Kishori.
Yes.
Oh, no, I asked Jack to do it. I really want the paintings that your daughter made. I want to show someone whose daughter is studying art. So send me some of her best work, okay?
I sure will. I'll email it to you.
On WhatsApp, okay?
WhatsApp. Okay, will do.
Especially Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
But that's good. But that's
Sure.
Okay.
I'll do that today.
Okay. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna.
Thank you very much for the class. Sundari here.
Your daughter is here every day, cleaning my apartment from top to bottom. And she's also studying music. She must tell you all this with this Manas Goswami, this incredible music teacher. So she's fully absorbed. It's fully absorbed. Nice to have a daughter that's such a nice devotee. Really.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay.
That she could come this year. That was your blessing.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody
Thank
else?
you. Hare
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, All Govinda.
And Vraja.
Thank you for an inspiring class.
Thank you.
I'm on fire. That's what I can say. I got so fired up today, I cooked myself. My deities. I didn't take the temple prasad. I bought all organic rice, organic dal, organic turmeric.
Wow.
Fresh ginger. And as Arjuna would say, I got my Punjabi grocery because the Iranians brought me so many nuts and dried fruit. It's like packed with all kinds of stuff. So
did you get your pomegranates?
You don't even know what a pomegranate is. I can tell you that. They made a pomegranate juice for me. It was like a smoothie without any milk or cream. That's how thick.
Oh, wow.
The pomegranates. You can't even conceive of it. You can't even conceive what that kind of pomegranate is. It's just so big. And then the painstaking life of sannyas. And then the sweet lemons. It's a whole other thing it's like a canteen.
Wow.
Like a lemon, but it's not a lemon, it's not an orange, it's in between, so it's not too, it's so incredible. What to speak, you never ate a pistachio, you never had an almond, you don't know what saffron is.
Amazing.
They're very nice. Well, of course, Suyaradika was your roommate, right?
Well, yeah, not my roommate, but she was, we were at the...
You became really friendly with her.
Yeah. Sweet. I'm so glad she's there.
Okay.
Okay. Hare
Haribol.
Krishna.
Haribol. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna, Gurudev.
Srila, your day off. You can listen live. Great.
Yes, I'm so glad I didn't miss this class. This was like the best class ever.
Phew. I'm waiting for you to someday visit here.
Yes.
Godhead is the place, you know, and you have your friends down the road at Krishna-katha, and it's really, and you know, they don't really allow the cars in now. So the roads are, and it's so reforested with so many trees. And the communities of Vaishnava, used to be, you're out here alone, but they have all these retreat centers and it's great. Okay, nice to have you on, and somehow you got your Sunday off today. That's great.
Thank you.
Nice, thank you. Anybody else?
Hare Krishna,
Okay.
Gurudev. Hare
Oh,
Krishna.
Amla.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming on. That's great. Okay. I will leave on the 4th. Yugal is really looking forward to me staying there for 1 month. That'll be great. Okay. Haribo. Thank you. Great to see you. Okay. One more, or I'm clicking off. Okay. Haribo. One Shakalpa Trubhisar.